Hello everybody and welcome to Nürburgring Nordschleife. We are doing this race in the skiffies. It should be pretty interesting and also very wild. Let's set up the car now, get ourselves ready. So we'll see how this race goes. I'm not expecting too much from this, I'll be honest. But we'll see how we do. So we're starting in P15 as the 11 car. We are also in top split. So, of course, because of the way the Nordschleife works, qualifying is in a separate session.
Place, 3 laps.
So, let's see how we get on.
Okay, Al, are you ready? Watch for the lights. Floor it.
I'll take it nice and cautiously. Into turn 1.
Far left. Still there. Clear left.
Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Wow. So I don't normally dry open wheelers.
Right side. Clear right. You're clear.
Oh, wow.
Right side. Still there. Clear right.
Sorry, Javier, I'm not sure what the hell happened there.
Oh,
Left side. Still there. Still there. Keep it steady. Clear to the left.
I'll let this guy through. There's a guy off to the right.
Schultz is leading the race.
So just be nice and careful. Now, Nordschleife is not a track that I tend to drive on very frequently. So while I know the track quite well, I'm not very good at the track, I'll be honest.
The gap to Suchek ahead is increasing. It's now 2.4 seconds.
Ooh.
Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
As you can see, I'm quite a novice with the skippies. I haven't driven them in quite some time.
Hold your line. Clear to the right.
Much of me getting used to the car all over again after all this time. Last time I actually driven the skippies was when I was actually D-class. In fact, the Skippy was in fact my car of choice going into D-class back when I started iRacing. Of course, we've had a new tyre model since then. A little bit of oversteer there. I think I should have probably knocked that into second gear, probably going up the hill. Right, another very long straight.
The guy behind's reeling you in. The gap's now 3.2.
Could be a difficult section of track. Back into 5th. Now this little section of track is uphill, so we might actually be better off just shifting it back down into 4th gear. Seems like somebody else isn't happy.
Yellow flag, watch out.
Right, okay. So we're now just coming up to the carousel for the first time. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Haven't practiced the carousel at all.
On your left. Clear on the left.
Just let Burkhardt through. Now the tyres should be near enough warmed up.
Those alternative lanes, Carl.
Could definitely go faster than that.
They're a little brown.
Oh, a little bit too fast through there. Ooh. Didn't like that sound particularly.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 3.3.
So this will be another interesting section. Will we lift off, I wonder? Nope. Well, a little bit, but not that much. Come towards the end of the first lap. There's only 3 laps. Oh, no. Went off the track there a bit.
Edwards is now in the lead.
Right. Now we can breathe a sigh of relief for a little bit.
That's a lap too early. Great move if that was. It's a lap too early. Sorry about that.
Okay, right, so that's 1 lap done.
V14, 2 laps left.
We're still in the same position that we started in. Of course, my confidence is going to grow in this car quite a bit. especially when we go into the third lap. There's like a lot of drivers towards the front are all having a lot of fun as well. Ooh.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 9.1.
Ooh. Hit the undershell of the car quite hard. Oh, there we go. Whoops. We'll go in and go and get that fixed.
Yellow flag. Keep your wits about you, mate. The gap behind has now decreased to 11 seconds.
I'm going to be probably losing a lot of time up here because of me having no front wing. Good thing for me to do right now is to uncheck all my tyres. Of course, I don't want any fuel. Yeah, look at that. I'm going so slow up this hill. It seems like the leader's crashed out. Yeah, I'm not even able to go up to 5th gear. we've got another car behind us who pitted in on the lap previous. So it should be getting past us. So we're not going to put up a fight with him because of course our car is damaged. Just going to keep on the racing line.
On your right. Hold your line. Clear right.
There we go. Let's rob him past.
The leader has just done a 8:00.5.
Right, so we're going to come into the pits on this lap. Obviously we need to still fix some damage. Just going to rest in 5, in 5th gear.
Ready, guys?
So we're just going to 4th now as we go uphill.
Watch your speed. Pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, Al, halfway home. We've got plenty of fuel. One more lap to go. You've got loads of fuel.
So just be mindful not to go over the speed limit.
It takes it is clear.
And back out we go. So we have gained a few positions. We have from other cars crashing out. Didn't think I would be having as much fun actually, to be honest, driving a slower car. Much more being used to driving GT cars. Like, I'll be honest, I've been finding it a little bit frustrating. You may have noticed through some of my earlier races,
The guy behind's catching. The gap's now.
like if you've been watching through my streams, it's definitely been a bit frustrating, particularly when I was driving around Monza and Road America recently as well. As well as that, obviously, my race I did earlier on today as well. Like even driving for the DP, I've not been enjoying it quite so much. Part of the reason why I've decided to start driving open wheelers a little bit more. I could be discussing it a little bit with the team really, with how I've been feeling in general. But in the small amount of time I've already had in the Skippy, I've been thoroughly enjoying the racing already. Just be careful here because this is where I crashed earlier on. There we go. Well, the big thing that I'm noticing with this car is that you want to be ever so precise with the steering. You know, you don't want to be doing too much with the steering wheel. You know, it requires minimal input to get any kind of response from the car. Which is something I quite like with the car, actually. Right, so we're up into 5th gear.
The gap behind has now decreased to 12 seconds.
So Brian behind is catching up. He is a fair amount. Of course, that's not something that I'm going to worry about right now. Of course, he is quite far back. Missed a gear then.
Almost got back up.
We're almost there now. We're almost home.
Sorry about that record, it's really stupid. Don't know what kind of...
Fastest lap for Edwards, 8:00.3.
Sorry.
Thank you, I think I would hand it to me there.
So the front runners are now starting to finish. It just puts into perspective how far off the pace I am at the moment, but as I start learning some of these other cars, I'll start increasing with speed, I'm sure. Right, it's just the main straight to go now. little wide. But that's fine.
P12. There we go. It's over. Bring it back round.
Well, P12. Not a bad result, considering I didn't actually do any practice. You probably could have gotten a P11 towards the end if I didn't have that little issue. But I think my first race in Skippy for quite some time. I think a P12 is definitely a respectable result. Let's stop and get out of the car and then we'll watch the replays. Oh,
Pero es que por lo visto en la al lado también. Y sé quién eres, tío, pero no me deja, no me deja escribir porque no soy seguidor.
one thing I'm happy about is that I did manage to make a clean start. So I just wanted to keep it clean throughout the first lap, really, which I managed to do so, you know, reasonably. So
Coño, que me dice que hay que pagar, ¿no? Habrá que ser suscriptor, imagino. Que te juro que le he dado a seguir, tío, no me hace ni caso.
you can see there's quite a few cars in a front pack, really. Now, they did seem to have a
Ya estoy, ya estoy.
bit of a pile up somewhere on the track. It was coming just
Ya
before the
estoy, coño, ya
carousel,
estoy.
by the looks of it. So I'm wondering what happens here. They're still quite tightly packed together, they are reasonably. But something happens coming up here. Ooh, James goes on the grass. Okay. Ooh, dear, yeah. Yeah, James gets onto the curb. His car's unsettled. And he understeers into Pete, who unfortunately gets the worst of it. A bit unlucky, really, to be honest. But I do tend to wonder if maybe if James was a little bit too optimistic in trying to make this pass, because he had just been off the track and maybe he should have pulled out. Really, to be honest, you can go too wide here in the skippies, but you know, you've got to have some leeway of giving each other room. And because James had just gone too high on the curb, obviously just unsettled him, really. So now for us, we obviously had our own little spin all on our own. So let's see how it happened with us specifically. Yeah, I got too high on that curve. I went all the way over on that curve on the outside and just lost control of the car at that point. Thankfully, all I lost was my front nose. But obviously that lost me a lot of time. But all in all, I'd say that's actually a pretty decent result, I would say, from a first race in skippies for a little while. So let's see what the results are from that race. So we lose 3 iRacing, so we hardly lose anything at all. We do gain plus 0.08 safety rating, which we are needing to gain quite a bit, because we have been losing a lot of safety rating where we haven't had clean races as of late. So hopefully that will be a gain. Ooh, look at that. We did have a very large amount of drivers all sign up for this race as well. I believe it was around about 235. I'm not entirely sure of the official number, but it was around about 235 drivers signed up for this race, and we managed to actually get into top split. So to say that we only lost minimal iRacing in top split, I'd say that's actually a good, happy result in all, I would say, to be honest. So definitely happy with that. So I'm going to end it there. If you haven't done so already, and if you enjoyed watching this race, don't forget to click subscribe, and obviously to click the bell button as well. That will get you notified and be notified for when your when my next videos will come in. I'm trying to speak in the right words for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, like hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully I'll be able to bring some more videos over to you, and I can catch you guys next time.